So termites, if you are going to buy a home in Florida, pretty much anywhere, you're probably going to encounter some termites, especially if you buy a historic or just an older home in general that has wood siding, wood foundation, usually raised off of ground. You'll probably have a lot of issues with that. But even slab homes can have what are called subterranean termites. And that leads me to the next thing. What do we have here? We usually have drywood termites, which you will see flying around kind of. And then subterraneans, which come through the ground. So sometimes if you're out looking at a house, you may see some discs that are stuck in the ground. And that's generally a pest company has come out, and that's the termite treatment that's it's placed around the house. For drywoods, there's not really a lot of prevention, so to say, that you can do, except for tenting. And usually what happens whenever you tent, they come and of course put a huge tent over your house, and they gas it. And sometimes if the tent goes over your vegetation outside, your landscaping and stuff, it can kill that landscaping, so be aware of that. It could take, a day for the tenting, and then they say come and open up your windows and kind of let it air out and stuff like that a little bit. As far as selling a house, I'll start with selling first. I suggest that before you sell, if you have an older or historic home, get a WDO inspection. That stands for wood destroying organism, which includes termites, wood rot, anything like that, anything that is technically live and eats at the wood, making it decay and that kind of thing. I suggest, even if you have a bond, a termite bond from a previous tenting that you did, it's always good to have another WDO inspection done right before you list it. They're usually around $175, so it's not necessarily that bad. But it's better to go into it knowing if you need to make repairs to satisfy a buyer, because some loans will require it, like FHA or VA. You have to have nothing needs to be repaired, basically. And then if you have live termites before you list, it's always good to use your bond to go ahead and have the house tented as a preventative, because a buyer is going to have their own inspections and they're going to find out all that stuff too. If you're a buyer and you have to get a WDO inspection, even if you don't have to get one, I would suggest that if you have an older or historic home, I would suggest that you get one. Again, they usually run about $175, and typically your home inspection company can do it, or they partner with a local pest company that can do it. And you'll get a report, and if the report says live on it, there's 3 specific areas. If it says live, then you're going to have to ask the seller to have the house treated. Definitely for FHA, VA, and of course conventional or cash, then you're going to want to have it treated if it has live. If it says that there is evidence of previous live infestation, or if there's damage, that stuff is going to have to be cleared for your lender if you're doing FHA or VA. That doesn't mean that there's live termites right now. All it means is that there's damage, and 99.99% of historic or older homes are going to have damage from termites. So don't let it freak you out. Don't let it wig out. Just go back to the seller and negotiate some repairs. And again, if you're doing FHA or VA, all those repairs are going to have to be made. If for some reason the seller can't make the repairs, maybe they can't afford it, then talk to your realtor, because there are different ways we can try and navigate that to get it paid. Bottom line is, don't wig out if you find termites or if there's damage of termites. And more than likely, if you're buying a historic or just older home in general, just know going into it that there's probably going to be damage, and I suggest getting a WDO inspection. And if you're going to sell, then getting a pre-inspection is always a great idea.